What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Gordon Lightfoot. Thank you massively once again to Yvonne for providing me the complete greatest hits compilation, as well as to Kim, who commented on the first Gordon reaction, and I'm looking forward to both of your insights as we go along in this playlist. And again, this is an artist I've been vaguely familiar with by name/reputation for a long time, but as far as I know, I had never heard his music directly before that first reaction. And the second track in the playlist is For Lovin' Me. It's an intriguing phrase in that it feels like it has to be part of a larger expression. If it was just Lovin' Me, I might have a clear expectation as to what would come narratively or thematically. For Lovin' Me feels like there must be an implied part of a larger sentence. This is what you get for lovin' me, or something to that effect. So I'll try to catch what I can, but I'm very curious about the phrasing. Let's give it a listen. This is Gordon Lightfoot. The track is For Lovin' Me, and it's included in his complete greatest hits compilation.
That's what you get for loving me. That's what you get for loving me.
Amazing.
Everything you had is gone, as you can see. That's what you get for loving me. I ain't the kind to hang around with any new love that I've found. Cause moving in my stock and trade, I'm moving on. I won't think of you when I'm gone.
Oof.
So don't you shed a tear for me, cause I ain't the love you thought I'd be. I got 100 more like you, so don't be blue. I'll have 1,000 before I'm through. Now there you go, you cried again. Now there you go, you cried again. But then someday when your poor heart is on the mend, I just might pass this way again.
Scoundrel.
That's what you get for loving me. That's what you get for loving me. Everything you had is gone, as you can see. That's what you get for loving me. That's what you get for loving me.
I was just thinking, like, it would make sense if there were no more verses, and then it continued, so I thought, oh wait, maybe there is another verse, but then it fades. I mean, that's brilliant on multiple levels. It's clever songwriting, and the way the lines play out is very amusing, if also surprising. The guitar playing, fantastic. It's very lyrical guitar playing. I do think maybe there's two guitars there, maybe I'm wrong, but it sounded like there were two different intricate guitar lines interweaving, but he's got a great voice, and those rising extensions that he does at multiple points, they really display that, and I'm looking forward to more examples of his vocal work, because even after just two tracks, and not that I didn't expect that, but someone like Bob Dylan, I think pretty famously, great songwriter, great storyteller, but people often joke that, his voice in the grand scheme of melodic voices maybe isn't the most technically perfect. It does have an appeal, and he is mesmerizing in the way he tells stories, but again, I think people make jokes about the sort of, maybe not monotone, but the sort of tinny delivery that he often does. I feel like I'm getting a richer vocal palette from Mr. Lightfoot already, even if, again, in terms of the guitar poet vibes, I'm picking up on a similar association. In any case, so right away I'm amused by the fact that it seems my prediction or the thought I had in advance of like, look, that's what you get for loving me. That's exactly what he is in fact saying. And he's not hiding who he is. He's being very blunt with who he is. Like, look, I'm not the guy that you thought I might be. I'm not someone who's going to stick around. I'm someone who, gets tired with something or just wants something new, and I'm going to keep moving on. And I've been with 100 women before you, and before I die, I'm going to be with 1,000 more. And I was going to make the joke when he said that, like, oh, he's got big dreams. But the idea that, like, oh, I've been with 100 more, or 100 already beyond you, it felt like, oh, that's a shot as he's going out the door, but it was part of a larger point that he's making. And then for a moment, it seems like it's actually a courtesy, or at least that's how the narrator sees it, that like, look, don't shed a tear over me. I'm not the kind of guy that you should be sad about. I'm not the kind of guy who was ever going to be the love of your life, your husband, your partner, till we both die. So you really shouldn't let it get to you. And then amusingly, he's like, wait, no, look, you're crying again. Which is like, yeah, because of what you're saying, man. Like, did you hear what you're not being delicate at all. But again, I think from his point of view, that directness, that transparent honesty, he thinks is a kindness. It is a possible relief or a sentiment that could allow her to process what she's feeling and saying, okay, maybe I shouldn't have gotten worked up over this guy because he's not really worth it in the grand scheme of things. But I like the idea that as he's trying to convey this comfort, cold comfort, she breaks out into tears again because her heart is broken. And then to say that, you know what, finally, when your heart is mended from this, right when you may be ready to move on, who knows, maybe I'm going to come back into town. Though I was thinking that he might be implying that, I might come back looking for an experience, a tryst with you again, which would be a pretty harsh thing to do to her. But maybe he's even just saying, I might come back into town, but not for you. Maybe you'll find someone else. So right when you're getting over me, you might see me with another woman, which would probably upend or cause problems for her healing process. So it's a very cleverly, amusingly, and yet stingingly written song. So I think it's very well crafted thematically and lyrically. I love the guitar work again, very lyrical and, what's the right word, expressive guitar playing. And as I said, his voice is coming across better than I thought, even though I didn't really have any expectations. And it's maybe just because of my perception or the reputation I knew about him in advance, that, he's got some similarities with these other guitar poets, someone like Dylan being a good example. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. It felt short. As I said, I thought it might even be a little bit shorter, but in the end it wasn't that long. Yeah, like 2.5 minutes. So a top tune. I'm even more excited for this deep dive. And once again, thank you to Yvonne for sharing and to Kim for commenting right away. I'm looking forward to you and anyone else who comments on this journey as we go through this quite long. I'm forgetting exactly how many tracks. I think there's over 20. Let me just make sure. There's exactly 20. Okay, so yeah, 20 tunes to go in this compilation, or rather 18 more tunes to go. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.